Waiting for the last cars to lock into position. 34 cars that qualified this morning. The final round of this year's High-Tech Oil Sports GT Series. Waiting for lights out. It's a brilliant start for the GTR, but look at the second row. That was always going to happen, wasn't it?
It's a four-wheel drive for the big jump at the top, down the outside into turn one. There's Hislop with the big V8 coming back at him into turn one. So side by side for this class down to turn one. These are on a groove type tyre, so we've got to try and find a bit of grip out there at the moment. The track temps down a little. That's where you'll find the four-wheel drives will certainly be strong early in the race.
So Matty Sims from the second row, the South Aussie, has made a belter of a start here to lead us out of the Southern Loop. There is Ray Hislop, the Fender Dunlop machine. Watch for him also. He's been very strong in this championship and improved production now for many, many years. Or Garwood.
Oh, Garwood down the inside there. Oh, right down the edge of the circuit. They're trying to push and shove and squeeze. It's the opening laps here. It's always on. And you can see Rusty French there. He's in the Sky Sands Porsche, belling it out with those couple of RX-7s.
Did a lot of damage to his TCM car yesterday, so he's gone back to the trusty old Porsche as they come out of Siberia. Now running side by side with the 98 machine heading down the back on lap number one. So frenetic start from the front crew as now Sims leads us up to the top.
Matthew Sims did a great job there, didn't he? He just got the jump and really got the power down and was able to get away down to turn one, though. It was Hislop that gave him a bit of trouble. We've got one there that's obviously had a drama off the line. We saw that get a slow start and he's pulled off the circuit. So Sims got that jump and he has just bolted. He's taken advantage of it and left P2 for dead.
And that was Neville Scott we saw on the inside. He's just raced that car in the World Time Attack Challenge at Eastern Creek recently. Tough break for him as now it's on for second, third and fourth. Garwood with that impressive Daytona just slicing his way back through the field.
Daytona there, it's an impressive looking car, isn't it? Something you don't often see racing around Australian circuits. It's obviously got the pace to be on the front row like that. V8 front engine car, and is certainly quick enough, but trying to find Sims, he's bolted, hasn't he? He's got that little Lancer Evo. He's managed to use the four-wheel drive. You've got Howell up the inside there of Hislop. Down into turn three. It's not a good spot there if you can't get it done early.
And Hislop's done this all before. Runs down the inside to protect the line and making Howell go the hard way at the turn four hairpin. And now the Voss Constructions entry, the Skyline GTR, has gone off down here at turn one. Dropped a lot of places back then too. So Mannion goes back to 21st in all of that.
Marcus Sakanovic there in a car we've not seen often in Australian motorsport, the latest Mustang out there, but he is used to driving in the Developer Series V8 supercars. But out there having a go this weekend, the Mustang. And look at this battle going throughout the field. The old RX-7 there, the Salmon Evo as well, having a go. Oh, Hislop, he's got the rear of the car sliding under brakes, under pressure now from the Daytona. Will the Daytona find a way past down the front straight? Great straight line speed out of that Daytona.
I have to say, I'm pretty surprised to see Hislop under this much pressure. Usually he just disappears into the distance in these races.
Yeah, there's obviously a range of different classes of cars. So Hislop normally competes in improved production cars, but obviously the Daytona's not an improved production car. Sports GT is a combination of these different classes, and Sims has got a problem.
Unbelievable. Our leader has struck dramas here at the end of the second lap, and it's going to drop down the field. So the South Aussie, tarmac rally expert, who's done a lot of Targa Tasmanias over the years, is now dropping back through the field. What a shame after an amazing start. And now the Daytona goes around at Southern Loop, all on his own.
He's trying to find a way past Hislop, and that's opened a gap up for Hislop now, who you just spoke about, normally running at the front of the field, and now he's got a massive lead. Look at that gap that he's got to Howell now.
Just like that, it can change. And Augustine, who spun the Dodge Daytona around at Southern Loop, dropped his way back down to 10th position. There's your leader, and it's about 3 seconds. Back to Howell, Garwood in 3rd position, who's in series contention here in car number 12, the Giraffe. Excavations number 12 is that Greg Garwood is also in the field this weekend. Holding down the 3rd position as we approach the halfway mark of this race, and it continues to get darker outside here. They're not forecasting any showers here today, but hey, it might spice up the action.
Yeah, you know, but there's a couple of drivers in this field doing double duties. Obviously, we saw Adam Garwood there before. He's out in the Touring Car Masters this weekend as well. As coming back through the field now after that big spin, that Daytona, he's trying to find his way back to where he should be, right at the front of this group.
This car comes from a lot of tarmac rally racing. It's been converted to race more on the blacktop like this. Some of the HQ Monaros inside the field. This is outside the top 20 at the moment.
That HQ Monaro there at Stephen Cote. It's a car that a lot of people in Target Tasmania would remember from leaving black lines up the road, and certainly one of the crowd favourites. It's like the supercar underneath that little HQ Monaro. Look at it go down the front straight. Stephen Cote flat out down to turn 1, and that is a very fast HQ.
Poor Honda Civic has had nothing down the main straight, but this is where he hits into flavour country, doesn't he? A lot braver in the corners. He's going to try the outside here at Southern Loop. That's a long way around here. It eats him alive. This is great stuff.
It's a great little battle here. You got the front-wheel drive Civic versus the big V8 powered HQ. Obviously, Stephen Coates' HQ is very quick, and here it comes again, back at the Civic, down to turn 3. Civic gives him a bit of room, but the little braking and the handling of the little Honda Civic is certainly superior to the Monaro.
It's like watching the Mini and the big Falcons back in the 60s and 70s. How they come out of the hairpin down to Siberia. It's a tricky corner. It doesn't look like it from this perspective, but it's caught out many drivers this weekend alone. As we head down, as that's Zakanovic slowing down that new Mustang. He's having some overheating issues this weekend. I hope it's not wounded. He's pulling to the side here. Like you said, a brand new car to Australia. You haven't seen many of them racing around the circuits here. As back we go to the battle for second and third between Howe and Garwood. Onto the main straight here. The famous Gardner Straight at Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. Meantime, it's nearly a 2-second advantage to Hislop.
We saw Hislop earlier. He got that gap, and he's just actually extended the lead. Howe on that Nissan GTR, obviously with only 2-wheel drive now, under pressure from Garwood in that Porsche. So Garwood, as I say, double duties this weekend. You can see those cars moving around on that R-Spec tyre. They're not a slick racing tyre, so they're the sort of tyre you can use in both wet and dry conditions. But when they move around on the tread, you can see that Nissan struggling to get the power down out of turn 2. As he now comes under pressure from Garwood, have a look down the inside, under brakes, the car moves around all over the road. A nice clean move there. Garwood's got the job done. He's run a bit wide. Howe's going to come back at him. Job done.
Got up on the AstroTurf too for the GTR. So the 17-year-old who had some help from Alex Davison earlier this year, getting used to driving this Porsche, because it's running on radial slicks at the first round, if you remember back in Tasmania. And it's a totally different application, isn't it, to driving with normal slick tyres?
Oh, they're very, very different. On a slick racing tyre, you can really feel the tyre. You can see how they're struggling for grip and using way too much of the road, the grass and the gravel. So this is what we talked about, where he's struggling for grip. The car, the tyre is not performing the way he wanted it, and he made that little mistake. But they're all suffering from that at the moment. The tyre's really, you know, it's a good tyre to be in those sorts of conditions, but underneath the car, you don't get the feel from the front end. You don't get the drive that you need, but everyone's got the same, so that's what it is.
He was pushing hard through here, and then just got the car, looks like he got the rear stepped out and couldn't straighten up from this point. And for a minute there, he might have been praying he had 4-wheel drive, but he managed to get the Hollinger Engineering GTR out of the gravel at the top of Lukey Heights, but it's dropped him a ton of positions now for our pole man. We'll stop back in the 4th position. In fact, that's such a margin as again Zakanovic just cruising around here. Former V8 Utes champ, Development Series racer as well. He stepped out of that at the end of the 2014 season. Great to have him back behind the wheel, because he is a talent.
Great looking Mustang, that one, but unfortunately he's obviously suffering at the moment with a bit of a drama, mechanical drama. You can see him falling back into to the bottom of the field as Hislop now starting to find his way through the traffic. There's those Class C cars, the little Suzuki Swifts, the Toyota Yaris's. They're battling it out for themselves, as Hislop, already only 6 laps into this race, is in amongst the lap traffic.
And that's Callan Sayers, the first to go a lap down. This is good news for Adam Garwood. If they can find a whole gaggle of cars ahead, it'll bring him closer to the Fenner Dunlop machine of Ray Hislop, known for his privateer exploits in V8 supercars in the 90s. And now the 27, the old school EB Falcon. For a puff of smoke coming out of that, down the bottom turn, it's Ben Trembath. Pegasus Customs entry.
There's a great variety of cars out there doing a fantastic job, enjoying their own little battles. Augustine in the Daytona. Obviously, you can see there, that car also struggling with a bit of a grip. You can see it moving around in the rear. And they've just got to take that little bit easier and try and keep the car nice and clean and smooth.
So Augustine runs back in 8th position on the quickest car on the circuit. 140.41. It's a couple of laps ago, but coming past Rob Jarvis, the Brandy's restaurant sponsor Suzuki Swift. Out of MG he comes. Bit of a shame because that lose down the bottom sort of spoiled the race for him a bit. And here's the 44 of Matty Sims, still cruising around. He's about to go a lap down. How's he ironing all this? By Ray Hislop.
Sims, that early leader, he got that great start. He's been in pit lane for the last couple of laps, so good to see him rejoin. And there's Hislop now, trying to find his way through that traffic. Passing the cars, passing the slower cars. And obviously they've done a great job to see him coming, get out of the way. Headlights on. And it's a familiar place with Ray Hislop out in front in that Falcon. It's a car that's very successful in improved production car racing. National champion in that car a couple of times. And certainly the one they try and chase. As Adam Garwood is trying to do right at the moment, try and track him down. The traffic's not working for him at the moment. He's dropped a little bit more time as well. So Hislop now pretty comfortable out in front. And it's really going to take something to go wrong for Hislop to get this, not win this race.
4 seconds, in fact, out to 5 between Hislop and Garwood with 1 and a bit laps remaining here. The first race, the High-Tech Oil Sports GT Series finale this weekend. And lots of traffic to come.
A circuit that's hard on tyres here at Phillip Island. You can see Garwood there. He's very gingerly turning the steering wheel. The rear of the car is sliding very early. That shows that the tyre is in a bit of trouble, and he's doing everything he can to keep that car nice and straight and clean, but he can't attack at the moment because it's just the tyres are working underneath that car, and it's Ray Hislop that's doing the better job.
1 lap to go. The Spinner Dunlop machine as a puff of flame comes as he grabs another gear and starts the last lap. That's a big margin now. Back to Garwood, Marr 3rd, Williams 4th, Reese Howe back to 5th position, Rusty French inside the top 10 in 6th, then Thompson, Augustine, Cox and Code now the top 10.
The new Falcon, the old XW just getting out of the way there. You can see Sims' car, unfortunately, with that problem. He certainly had the pace, didn't he? Because he's now keeping up the back of Hislop. So that would have been a great battle, and I'm sure that will develop over the course of the weekend. Sims in that not WRX, Lancer, isn't it?
That's it.
That is keeping up with Hislop there quite comfortably. So that will be a great battle to watch over the next couple of races.
You can only assume for this position, maybe an electrical drama that may have just cured itself. Those funny little gremlins that appear in race cars without us even noticing.
A bit of a control-alt-delete on that one. Let it restart again. Some of these cars with all the electronics and the computers and the way they operate their four-wheel drive systems and so forth. Sometimes they have a bit of a moment to themselves. They have a shutdown, and you have to reboot the car, and away you go again. But it's pretty easy for Hislop at the moment. He's quite comfortable. He's just keeping that car nice and straight. But it's tyres that are really going to play in this over the course of the weekend. So hard on tyres here at Phillip Island. You really only get one good lap out of them, and you've got to look after them over the course of these races for these guys.
Started from 3rd position in this race today. Effectively inherited the race lead when the car behind him struck dramas on the 3rd lap. He picked up his 4th Improved Production Nationals win in Darwin, and today he picks up race 1 of the High-Tech Oil Sports GT Series race. Ray Hislop is the winner, and it's a massive margin, out to 10 seconds. So I wonder whether the traffic played a big part or his tyres were starting to go a little bit soft in the end. But Adam Garwood will get 2nd position. Marr will hold on to 3rd, then Williams. Rusty French got up to 5th. He got past Howell on the final lap then. So the Sky Sands Porsche, a top 5 result. There he is coming through the black and gold entry. Just getting past Howell, who had a moment at the top of Lukey Heights during that race also.
Yeah, Howell obviously struggling on those tyres as well. But you can see these guys now in amongst that lap traffic. Checkered flag is out, and it's been a great job. But Augustine, his Daytona has had that little problem. It's obviously not going to make the finish line. He's going to roll into pit lane there. A pity, not far to go, but he didn't quite make it.
Just going to make it to pit entry right there. Same spot we saw Jason Bright pull up yesterday in the 2nd practice session. Nonetheless, It was 10 seconds. The win to Ray Hislop ahead of Garwood. Brody Maher in third. Williams, Rusty French in fifth. Reese Howell in sixth. Then Thompson, Cox, Steve Code and Jamie Auguste will hold on perhaps to that 10th position. This first race, the High Tech Oil Sports GT race.